So, next topic, I kind of got to say, like, kind of a preface before it is say we have done a podcast segment on poodling. Now, you could probably fit this in with this, but you feel that there's something else to talk about, right? So, it is partial versus full suiting.
Pros
And
and cons.
Twitter has had, a lot of people talking about it. Uh, a lot of people having their opinions strong on either doing it or not.
Yeah.
So what do you feel?
I think both sides have pros and cons. It depends on what suiting means to you. So, what are some of the pros to partialing?
Well, do you think that somebody that is partial suiting should be as well known or included into things as much as anybody that doesn't have a full one?
Well known, maybe, maybe not, because the fandom is very visual.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're like dressed head to toe in your character, of course, you're going to draw more eyes than if you're like me.
But a lot
And
of a lot of the drama or just whatever people talk about, whatever the discourse as you say, is that they're not being feeling as included or they're not being beloved as much because they're in a partial.
that part, I don't see why, because partialing is could be considered you're still suiting because you're taking on the persona of your character even so.
Well, let's say pros of it would be that it's cooler. It's
Yes.
a lot cooler. You don't want a carpet on you all the time.
No,
And
and it's
good to
definitely a
go.
good way to get into suiting if you never suited before.
Another pro is that it costs a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be charged a whole lot less for just a head, for
Yes.
paws. The bodysuit is a huge part of it.
Even if you're making it yourself, there's still less fur to buy, less foam, less materials.
Mm. What other pros do you think?
It's just as fun.
Just as fun?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, yeah, because you can still like be this cute tiger or wolf or
So-
whatever species you are, and you can have pictures taken, and you see yourself, and then it's just like this happy face.
So a pro again would be that you can accessorize it.
Yeah.
In that you can dress as whatever way you want. You could have your character be more of a, kind of a real world style, more so than you're kind of walking around
Yes.
as a, I don't know, people always say it like naked or something. You're a naked cartoon animal. So you got clothes on now, so you can act like you're part of the world or something.
And it's easier to wear clothes on your character as a partial instead of a full suit.
It's true. Yeah, it is.
And you can bring out your character that way. Like we have.
We're doing the Kigus right now. So
Yeah.
that's a different thing that you can have with it.
A local Wolfie, although I think he wears full suit along with clothes, but even if he partialed and he still wore the same clothes, then you recognize him by the clothes as well as the character.
Yeah.
So that could be a good way to still get yourself known, even in a partial.
I never actually designed this character to have partial, but I like my deer, Grandia. He is very much designed to have a partial, and if I ever have him made, it'll be like finding that exact type of clothes.
And then,
So it's fun that way.
like with me and Nia, I still am in between deciding whether I want to stay in veterinary or not. But even so, I still have this slight soft spot in my heart for like the medical field and the scrubs. So my plan is to, when I partial as Nia, buy some costume scrubs on Amazon or somewhere and be able to partial and still be into character as Dr. Nia, as the moniker goes.
But as far as cons, I honestly don't think there's a lot of it. It's just basically the con is going to be how you see it.
Yeah.
That it is very visual. You're going to stand out a lot more if you got this giant, crazy colored, crazy big suit that's just bigger than life,
So if you go to meets and cons, depending on how many friends you have and how social you are, you're probably not going to be having as many photos taken of yourself by passerbys as you would be in a full suit.
Well, I mean, I've always seen it as how they look and how they play off that character.
It really depends on what character you're playing, how well you portray it, and just the circumstance. Sometimes you're going to get more pictures taken than others. Sometimes you're going to have more recognition than other times.
I mean, can you honestly think of any other cons of having partial?
Not really.
There really isn't. Right?
Not really at all.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of discourse on Twitter. You definitely see people saying, I've honestly seen tweets and stuff saying if you got a partial, you're just not part of it. You're not doing it right. Something like that. That's just not true.
No.
Right?
No, because you can still be your character even in a partial.
Yeah.
And maybe you can't handle a full suit. Maybe you're new to it and want to start off with something.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Definitely, you got to get into it. Doing a full suit is a lot of work, especially Morpholess. It's heavy.
But then moving on to full suiting, pros of that, of course, would be the visuals. You can be head to toe, and it just seems more stunning than having the parts of the character, while the other parts appear more human-like.
You know, honestly, it's all just about how much money you have to spend.
And how much you want, or how you want to suit, too.
I think it's just a lot of people make a lot of big deals out of a lot of things that they don't need to. So honestly, I feel like that's about it. That's the pros and cons of it. It really is.
So basically what we got out of this is suit how you want to suit.
I think we did pretty well, though.
And don't feel bad if you can only partial.
I mean, even if you do partial, maybe eventually you'll get your full suit. It's not going anywhere. It's not like it's built in. You can commission to have the bodysuit eventually when you want it, or feet paws, or paws in general, and you just have the head for now. You know, it's really, I think it really stems on furry being so visual.
That's for sure.
And outside of that, it's somebody's always going to have a problem with somebody else.
As always, human nature.
So you got anything else to say about it?
No. I think we're pretty good with that.
But I think we got the pros and cons of it all, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, next
basic
topic.
ones. Basic pros and cons to it.
Yeah. And kind of explaining the discourse of people talking about it.
And where it comes from.
Yeah. It's usually always some type of something out there that people need to make a
one
deal
person
out of.
telling another how to do this or that.
How to live life, huh? We've all seen that through our lives, huh? All right, yeah, that's about it. You good with that?
I think that's all.
Next topic?
Next topic.
Next topic.
Next topic.